Most Toyota hybrid owners are losing range every single day and have no idea why. It is not a battery defect. It is not a recall. It is a setting buried deep inside your car's own logic that Toyota never clearly explained. And every mile you drive without addressing it, your hybrid battery is working harder, running hotter, and delivering less efficiency than it should. After years of working on Toyota hybrids, I have watched the same pattern destroy battery performance across the Prius, Camry Hybrid, RAV4 Hybrid, Highlander Hybrid, and Sienna. Owners come in confused, frustrated, and convinced something is broken. But in almost every case, the real problem is a combination of settings, habits, and overlooked maintenance that silently drains their hybrid range from the inside out. This is what Toyota hybrid owners need to understand right now to stop the damage before it becomes permanent. The first setting most owners get wrong is climate control behavior. In every Toyota hybrid, the air conditioning compressor is powered directly by the high-voltage traction battery, not by a belt connected to the gasoline engine. That means every time the air conditioning runs, it pulls energy directly from the same battery pack that drives your wheels. Most owners leave the climate system in full auto mode with the temperature set low and never think twice about it. The system blasts cold air at maximum power the moment the car starts, draining hybrid battery energy before the vehicle even leaves the driveway. What most owners do not realize is that Toyota hybrids offer an eco-climate setting, sometimes labeled as an S button or as an eco indicator on the climate control panel. When activated, this mode reduces compressor load, cycles the fan at lower speeds, and limits how aggressively the system cools or heats the cabin. The difference in energy consumption is significant. Full auto climate mode can reduce electric-only driving range by as much as 15 to 20%, especially in extreme heat or cold. Eco climate mode preserves that energy for the electric motor and keeps the hybrid system operating efficiently. Owners who never activate this setting are burning through hybrid battery charge every single trip without realizing it. And because the gasoline engine compensates by running more often, fuel economy drops quietly alongside it. The second silent range killer is a setting most Toyota hybrid owners accidentally leave on all the time: power mode. Toyota labels it PWR or Sport depending on the model, and it feels great behind the wheel. The throttle responds faster, the gasoline engine stays on longer, and the car feels more aggressive. But that responsiveness comes at a direct cost. In power mode, the hybrid control module keeps the internal combustion engine running far more than necessary. The system deprioritizes electric-only driving and forces the gasoline engine to assist even at low speeds where the electric motor alone would be more than sufficient. Hybrid battery charge depletes faster. Regenerative braking becomes less effective because the system is focused on performance rather than energy recovery, and the overall fuel economy drops by 10 to 15% compared to normal mode. Many owners activate power mode once and forget it is still on. Some models remember the last driving mode used, and others default back to normal at every startup. If your Toyota remembers power mode and you never switch it off, every single trip is draining range that your hybrid battery should be providing for free. Normal mode is Toyota's balanced starting point for a reason. It optimizes the relationship between the gasoline engine, the electric motor, and regenerative braking. Power mode is designed for brief use during highway merging or steep climbs, not as a permanent driving setting. Leaving it on full-time is one of the fastest ways to silently destroy your hybrid's range and efficiency. The third setting that drains range is one most owners have never even heard of, and it involves the data communication module, known as the DCM. This is the cellular modem built into your Toyota that powers connected services, remote start through the Toyota app, the SOS emergency system, and vehicle tracking. The DCM communicates with cellular towers even when the car is completely turned off. Under normal operation, it enters a low-power sleep mode after the engine shuts down. But Toyota issued a technical service bulletin, TSB 008921, covering multiple model years, including the 2020 and 2021 Camry Hybrid, RAV4 Hybrid, Corolla Hybrid, and RAV4 Prime, because the DCM firmware in these vehicles had a critical flaw. Instead of going to sleep, the module stayed awake and kept transmitting data to Toyota's network. That constant communication drew between 300 milliamps and as much as 3 amps from the 12-volt auxiliary battery. A healthy Toyota hybrid 12-volt battery holds roughly 45 to 50 amp hours. At that drain rate, the battery could be dead in 24 to 48 hours of sitting parked. And here is where the real damage begins. The 12-volt auxiliary battery is not the same as the high-voltage traction battery, but it is the key that unlocks the entire hybrid system. Without a healthy 12-volt battery, the hybrid control module cannot initialize, the high-voltage contactors cannot close, and the car cannot enter ready mode. A dead 12-volt battery means your Toyota hybrid will not start, even if the traction battery is fully charged. Repeated deep discharges caused by a rogue DCM destroy the 12-volt battery's ability to hold voltage, leading to premature failure that costs $200 to $500 to replace, depending on the model and battery type. If your Toyota hybrid sits for more than a few days and struggles to start, or if the SOS light near your rearview mirror stays red after startup, your DCM may need the firmware update covered under that bulletin. Any Toyota dealer can check your vehicle identification number and apply the fix. It takes less than an hour, and in many cases it is covered under warranty or goodwill. Ignoring it does not just kill your 12-volt battery, it disrupts the entire startup sequence that your hybrid system depends on. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. The fourth range drainer is one of the most overlooked maintenance items on any Toyota hybrid, the hybrid battery cooling fan filter. Every Toyota hybrid battery pack generates heat during normal operation. Charging, discharging, regenerative braking, and sustained highway driving all produce thermal energy inside the battery cells. To manage that heat, Toyota uses a dedicated cooling fan that pulls air from inside the cabin and pushes it across the battery pack to regulate temperature. That airflow passes through a small filter designed to trap dust, lint, pet hair, and debris before it reaches the fan blades and the battery housing. On a Prius, the filter sits underneath the rear seat. On a Sienna, there are 2 filters, one located beneath each front seat. On a Camry Hybrid and RAV4 Hybrid, the intake is typically near the rear seat area or in the trunk. When that filter clogs, and it will clog especially in homes with pets, dusty climates, or frequent rear seat passengers, airflow drops dramatically. The battery pack overheats. When battery temperature rises above its optimal operating range, the hybrid control module reduces how much energy the battery can accept and deliver. That means less electric-only driving, more gasoline engine intervention, reduced regenerative braking efficiency, and a noticeable drop in fuel economy. Over time, sustained overheating accelerates chemical degradation inside the battery cells, permanently reducing capacity. Toyota does not include this filter in standard service intervals, so most dealers never check it unless a warning light appears. By then, the damage has already begun. Cleaning or replacing this filter every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, or more frequently in harsh environments, is one of the simplest and cheapest ways to protect hybrid battery performance and preserve long-term range. The fifth setting that silently drains range is one Toyota owners activate with good intentions: EV mode. Pressing the EV button forces the hybrid system to run on electric power alone. It sounds efficient, and in very specific situations it is. Short, flat drives under 25 miles per hour with a sufficiently charged battery and moderate temperatures are ideal. But many owners press EV mode in situations where the system cannot sustain it. Driving uphill, accelerating above 30 miles per hour, running the air conditioning at full blast, or pressing the pedal too aggressively all force the hybrid system to exit EV mode and restart the gasoline engine. Every time that forced transition happens, the engine fires cold, uses extra fuel to catch up with the demanded power, and the battery charge drops lower than it would have under normal hybrid operation. The result is worse fuel economy and reduced range compared to simply leaving the car in normal hybrid mode, where the control module manages the engine and electric motor seamlessly. Toyota designed EV mode as a situational tool, not a permanent efficiency strategy. Owners who press it constantly are actually fighting the hybrid control logic instead of letting it do its job. The system knows when to use electric power and when to bring in the engine. Overriding it creates inefficiency, not savings. The sixth silent drain comes from the Toyota app itself, specifically from how often it communicates with your parked vehicle. Every time you open the Toyota app and refresh your vehicle status, the app wakes the data communication module and pulls data from the car. That wake-up cycle draws power from the 12-volt auxiliary battery. For owners who check their app multiple times a day, especially those monitoring charge status on plug-in hybrid models, the cumulative effect is a slow, steady drain on the 12-volt system. Toyota designed connected services to operate in the background with minimal battery impact, but frequent manual refreshes override that efficiency. The recommendation is simple: check your vehicle status once or twice a day at most, and avoid refreshing while the car is parked for extended periods. If you are leaving the car at an airport or parked for more than 2 weeks, Toyota recommends either disconnecting the 12-volt battery or using a battery tender to maintain voltage. The 12-volt battery in a hybrid is not charged by an alternator. It is charged by a DC to DC converter that only operates when the vehicle is in ready mode. When the car is off, the 12-volt battery receives no charge at all. Every electronic system that stays awake, from the keyless entry sensors to the data communication module to app refresh cycles, is drawing from a finite supply with no way to replenish it until the car is driven again. The seventh range drain most owners never consider is short trip driving behavior. Toyota hybrids are engineered to reach peak efficiency only after the hybrid system fully warms up. During cold starts, the gasoline engine runs longer to bring the catalytic converter to operating temperature and to warm the hybrid battery to its optimal range. In cold climates, this warm-up period can last 10 to 15 minutes. Owners who drive 2 or 3 miles to work and park the car are shutting down the system before it ever reaches full efficiency. The gasoline engine does the heavy lifting during those short trips. The electric motor barely contributes, and the hybrid battery never fully charges through regenerative braking. Over weeks and months, this pattern keeps the battery in a constant state of partial charge, which accelerates cell imbalance and reduces the battery's ability to hold energy evenly across all modules. Toyota recommends driving a hybrid for at least 20 to 30 minutes at a time, several times per week, to allow the system to complete its full charge and discharge cycle. Owners who only take short trips should plan one longer drive each week to let the hybrid battery equalize and the 12-volt auxiliary battery fully recharge through the DC to DC converter. The eighth drain is a physical one that most owners never see, a clogged cabin air filter affecting hybrid battery temperature. Because Toyota's hybrid battery cooling fan pulls air directly from the cabin, the quality of that cabin air matters far more than most people realize. A dirty or clogged cabin air filter restricts the volume of air entering the cabin in the first place. Less cabin air means less available cooling air for the battery fan to pull through. The battery runs warmer, the fan runs harder and longer to compensate, and both the battery and the fan motor wear out faster than they should. Replacing the cabin air filter every 15,000 to 20,000 miles does not just improve the air you breathe, it directly supports the cooling system that keeps your hybrid battery alive. A $15 cabin air filter protects a battery pack that costs $2,000 to $4,000 to replace. Toyota never connects these two maintenance items in the owner's manual, but the relationship is real, measurable, and critical to long-term hybrid range. The ninth and final setting most owners ignore is the simplest one to fix. Many Toyota hybrid owners leave accessories running with the car in accessory mode instead of ready mode. Sitting in a parking lot listening to the radio, charging a phone, running the seat heaters, or scrolling through the infotainment system while the car is in accessory mode pulls all that power exclusively from the 12-volt auxiliary battery. The high-voltage traction battery and the DC to DC converter are completely offline. Every minute in accessory mode is a direct drain on the one battery your hybrid cannot start without. Toyota designed ready mode specifically for this situation. When the car is in ready mode, the DC to DC converter draws power from the traction battery to support the 12-volt system and all accessories. The gasoline engine only starts intermittently if the traction battery needs replenishing. Ready mode keeps both batteries healthy while still powering everything the driver needs. Sitting in accessory mode for 30 to 60 minutes can drop the 12-volt battery low enough to prevent the car from entering ready mode at all, leaving the owner stranded in a parking lot with a fully charged traction battery they cannot access. Every setting and behavior covered in this video affects one of three things: battery temperature, charge balance, or parasitic drain. When those three stay controlled, Toyota hybrid batteries last 200,000 miles or more, fuel economy stays consistent year after year, and the gasoline engine only runs when the system truly needs it. Ignoring these settings does not cause a sudden failure. It causes a slow, invisible decline in range, efficiency, and battery health that shows up years later as reduced fuel economy, shortened electric-only driving, and eventually a battery replacement bill that could have been prevented. The owners who understand these settings do not just drive Toyota hybrids, they protect them. If you're enjoying this video, consider watching the next one where I share more secrets to get the most out of your Toyota hybrid system.